Cheers, everybody. Welcome back. I guess if you didn't check earlier, I got a box of beer from this gentleman today, John and Ellie, aka Georgia Beer Reviews. But cheers. So, tonight we're here for a beer examination. We're going to be checking out a product from Treehouse Brewing Company. Get to the chat real quick. Cheers to you, Bounty, and cheers to you, Bumpy. Probably the only one watching. Anyways,
Nice.
yeah. So, yeah, Treehouse Brewing Company. This would be the first product I get to try from this company ever. It's their limited release, I guess. John said they were allocating Kansas. It's their
Yeah.
2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. They were running low. They were only letting you get 2 cans per visit. But yep, it's fresh because it's 2023, right?
Oh yeah, mine actually has a date on it.
Does it really? Mine does not. What's the date on yours?
Yes, it's a double IPA at 6.8%. Mine is 12/23/22.
Okay, Christmas Eve. That's so weird that mine doesn't have a date. This is probably one of the only cans that from Treehouse that doesn't have the date on it for me. But yeah, guess they skipped this one.
Oh yeah, well, I'm excited to get into this.
Yeah,
It's gonna see what's all the hype's about. All that hooting. Oh shit.
well, I think it'll live up to the hype. I don't know. Sometimes you build things up in your head to the point where nothing will be able to live up to your expectations. So hopefully you haven't built it up to that point. Looks juicy.
It looks like fucking egg beaters, yo. Like liquid egg.
Definitely looks lighter on your end than mine. I think because you have that backlight going on.
Yeah. But when I pull it back, yeah, it's a little bit on the darker.
It's juicy.
Definitely hazy as
juicy
shit.
looking.
Murky, fluffy, light, two-fingered head. Meringue-esque. Wow. Fruity, tropical. There's a mild pine. It's nice and light.
Mm-hmm. Definitely doesn't smell like 8.6%, huh?
Mm-mm.
Well, since you've never had Treehouse, I want to
Brown
hear
bread crust. Yeah, man.
first.
I'm trying to get what kind of fruit I'm smelling. It's like pineapple something. I don't know.
Pineapple, mango. But yeah, it's more this one, and I think too because it's so like some of the Treehouse beers, you get everything from them pretty fresh. As you age them just a little bit, they melt. That pine will mellow out a little bit. It's almost like this one is going to be a little bit more green than maybe it should be, just because we're drinking it so fresh.
It smells good. It doesn't have that big like green onion garlic.
Yeah.
You know how some of I mean everybody's all about the fresh. We were talking about this before, the super fresh IPAs, but sometimes, man, you gotta wait a little bit. You gotta be patient.
Yeah, I've gotten a few IPAs that from Treehouse actually that were canned like 2 days before I bought them, and I would have one, and it was really green, so I'd let it sit in the fridge for a couple weeks and then go back and try it again, and it would be better. So it just depends on what you want. If you want more of the green or if you want more of the tropical juicy. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I want to hear what. Yeah, I saw you took a sip. What do you think? I'm going to take a sip.
I'm getting the green onion on the flavors. It's not bad though. You definitely get the presence that you're drinking a bigger beer. I mean, it's full bodied, of course, but like I wouldn't say it's alcohol forward, but like you get it. It's like it's there, but not like they're trying to hide it.
It's interesting.
Not like hide it, but like you know what I mean. Like you know how sometimes they'll make some of these and they're like so malt malt,
Yeah.
more candy, tropical, sweet, and you're just like, it's drinking like a 6.5. But this, it's drinking like a high caliber beer. Um,
It does have a lot more of the dank resinous than a lot of the treehouse beers that I've had, but I never understood the garlic and onion thing. Like I can see where you might interpret it as that, but for me, it's just more of like a resinous West Coast presentation with that.
it, it transitions into that with the like for me for sure.
Mhm.
There is dank. You get like a zesty, spicy hop note.
Yeah.
Um, wow, it's pretty fucking good. I'll tell you that. For the first one, I mean, I don't know.
Definitely not the
It's
best.
it kind of hits you with the
Good.
old bait and switch because you smell it and you're like, man, this is like it's nice and fruity and tropical, and you have it, and you're like, bam, hops,
Hmm.
uh, tank pine. I to be honest with you, I kind of like my IPAs like this. If they do have that like malty sweet tropical, you got to have some pine or some
Well,
bitterness.
right. You want the balance.
Balance.
They do. Yeah, they do a pretty good job of balancing most of these beers because otherwise you can get, a little bit too sweet. Not necessarily cloying with an IPA, but you lose out on some of the other flavors because there's not enough balance, and all you end up tasting is like the sweet fruit, and you're not picking up on any of the actual hop, the other hop
Like
character.
no chunks, no sediment,
Yeah, no,
plain beer.
I don't ever usually see any like sediment, but you definitely can't see. You hold it up to the light, you see a little bit. It kind of brightens it up a little bit, but it is completely opaque. You cannot,
No,
you can't see.
no real dregs in the bottom of the can either.
Right. I mean, you can't tell what finger I'm holding up behind the glass,
Well, I don't know. Would it be a middle finger head?
but it would be the middle finger. But anyway, just to show you the opacity of the beer. I love, yeah. All of the Treehouse beers that I've had have been pretty spot on. The only complaint would be sometimes you get them and they're almost a little too fresh, a little too green. You got to let them sit for a little while. I'd much rather have that problem than buy a beer that's 3 or 4 months old and you know nothing you can do at that point.
I
The
think
bot. What do you think the
like
body like for 8.6? Would you say that it's a medium body or do you
no,
find
it's hefty.
it's hefty?
I've had a few New England's. I actually had a pretty good year last year on that. I ended up getting a nice box of Fidens and some other things, and Burlington's one. I don't know, like there's certain ones that I haven't had, like Spyglass and stuff, but um, I've it's tough when these guys are putting down product like this and they're playing for keeps. I mean, Fidens I've had. I think I probably could have sat on it a little bit more, but it's aggressively hop
Yeah,
New England IPAs, triple IPA, and they they were fresh. They were like 10, 11 day old cans and shit like that.
yeah.
But I think maybe at like a month and a half, yeah, I could see the the, the date hasn't done this any harm. I'll
No,
say that, at least for my can.
no.
Uh,
I like it. This is one too that it's only a couple
like
weeks
if you
old.
drank this like like if you had this like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, probably give you like you might get like heartburn. I like that it's got a little carbonation to it too. It doesn't drink like a flat neat, but you get like a tiny bit of like it's sizzle there.
Yeah, I definitely am getting the carbonation with this. I would say that for me, it's like a low end of medium with the carbonation. It's more than what you might expect from an 8.6% double thick, heavier type beer. Cheers, Jay. Oh, cheers to craft beer pours. That's right.
CBT,
That's
cheers,
right.
man.
He's not far that the treehouse. You drive into a parking spot. They bring the beer out to your car within like 2 minutes of you pulling up. It's always fresh. Yeah, can't go wrong. I can't wait till they actually open up the clubhouse. I mean, it's going to be a tap room too, where you can go in and enjoy, like they'll probably limit you like at the original brewery where you get 3 pours. But hey, get some cans to go. Can't go
Yeah,
wrong.
good. Cheers, Jag man. God damn it, drunk
Right,
one.
Friday the 13th.
That's all
Drunk
right.
is everywhere.
Did he get one of these?
I don't think so. He got
I know he
one.
got something equal
He got
value.
one though that was supposed to go to you. He got an extra beer though because I had packed what I thought was a full.
Somebody did.
It was him. Yeah, it wasn't Tom because his
Yeah, let's
package
not go
much
too far into that.
was much smaller than. I sent him a couple beers too, my buddy Tom. But yeah, he wouldn't have got one of those. So,
He said no.
don't
You
tell
got
me. No,
something of mine. You got something over there that belongs to me, boy.
that's right. Doesn't matter. It's all gonna fucking go bad if he doesn't put it in the fridge soon.
That's
Let it sit out for days.
yeah, bad treehouse today, huh?
Really? What,
What
Bumpy?
was
What
it?
was it? Yeah, I wonder if I've had it because I've had a lot of treehouse lately. See if it's one that I've had. Bumpy's idea of a bad beer and my idea of a bad beer are drastically different.
Oh, dude, he said he can't even cut a video on it.
He was f bomb. What was the beer, Bumpy? Was it a double IPA or was it one of their? That's the problem with the. You get some
Oh,
really.
and I didn't get one. Fuck yeah.
I I
I
reviewed it.
guess I could have contradicted
I
but
think
Bumpy's right.
so. I gave that one like a 90, I think,
You're
an A
right.
minus because it was a juicy tasting double IPA, but it was brewed with wildflower honey and it had no honey flavor that I could detect. So I dropped it down to an A minus, but I thought it was a fucking you drain poured it, you God. Whatever. You drain pouring freaking Dragon's Milk stouts and Treehouse beers. What's wrong with you,
That's
Bumpy?
awesome.
You got some real. You got some real.
Bumpy, I
real
don't have to make slam videos. Bumpy does it for me.
Come
I
on.
would have. You never know. I was on the fence when you were telling me about that, and you had it, and I was like, man. I had a few of the honey beers that they make with like the wild honey and shit. I'm kind of like,
The one that I really want to try that everybody keeps talking about, but they say that it doesn't have the honey flavor much either. Is the Hop Slam from Bell's? It's like a double IPA, I think. That's or maybe a triple.
Bumpy said he thought he had code.
Oh heck, it was just
it was
bitter.
just bitter. And
What is wrong with you? Come on.
yo,
Whatever, Bumpy. Anyway, back to the 2023, right? This one is.
I get in a bubblegum type of note now.
So one thing that I find
Yeasty
that I
bubblegum.
yeah, I could see that. There is like a sweet little
Almost like
zebra
zebra. You think it's zebra stripe?
or a zebra stripe or juicy
Juicy fruit was
juicy
what I
fruit.
was
Yeah,
thinking.
I could see that. So a lot of the Treehouse IPAs have a guava note, but I don't find that this one really does. Some of the ones that you're going to drink, be ready for guava, heavy guava notes, and that's what one of the things.
Man, I know about the guava.
One of the things I love about the Treehouse IPAs is whatever they, one of their hops that they use in a lot of their IPAs, it's guava forward. This one, I'm not getting guava so much. So they obviously use a different hop profile than what they do for a lot of their like standard IPAs, like the Julius and the Haze and like some of their standby or their
Treehouse, Sammy.
Yeah.
The old 2023.
That's right. But yeah, this one is a little bit different than some of the standard hop profile beers that I get from Treehouse. It's a lot more, a little bit more earthy. It's definitely more bitter and resinous than some of the IPAs from them. But yeah, I like it. It's a good start to the new year. Super fresh double IPA, bordering on a triple. if you ask some people, 8.6 is getting up there. But
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Yeah, man. I get like it's so. It was when you first opened, it was so tropical, and now you're getting more, like I said, kind of like how the flavor profile is. I guess because your taste and smell are
yeah,
associated. But
definitely evolves a little bit as you
this
let it
is fucking.
air out a
It's
little.
great. If you see it or you can get it, I'd recommend picking it up. Get your 2 allocated cans because they're fucking worth it.
I have a feeling they're probably gone by now,
Go
but
on. Yeah,
maybe not.
it's good.
That's one good thing. You're getting fresh stuff too. You go on the website to order like beer for
Shit
pickup.
sold out.
Every time you go on there, it's a completely new list. Other than the Julius and some of like their staple beers, all the other stuff is constantly rotating. So you could literally go one day and get a bunch of stuff, turn around 2 days later, go to their website, and they'll have a completely different list of beer. It's really impressive. And they're selling a lot if their turnover is that fast, which just guarantees that you're not going to get any old beers. The oldest beer I think I had from them was like going on 2 months. It was canned in like October, and it was early December. Well, yeah, like early December when I got it. So like you're not going to get anything older than 6 weeks, really 6-7 weeks, because they sell out so fast. So you're just not gonna find old beer from Treehouse unless you're cellaring it yourself, or
I man, this sets the bar pretty high for me, because this
wow,
isn't like the tropical, super tropical shit. And like I dig beers like this where
yeah,
it's not for the faint of heart. I can see people not liking this. I mean, too much for some. You know what
yeah.
I mean? But it's great. Best best IPA I've had this year. Double
There
IPA
you go.
so
Broke your
far.
Finally broke your Treehouse cherry.
Yeah, it's great. Glad you suggested. Well, at least you held on to one. That was where it was. It's like John's
Yeah,
like I got 2 beers out of that whole box you got left.
and I can always some of the ones that I sent you, I can go buy more of because they're regular
Mm.
beers that they sell. But like a few of the ones I sent you, like the other one, the Bomb Cyclone, that's a strict like seasonal limited release, limited can per customer, like that type of thing. I sent you 2 or 3 of the ones that were released right around Christmas that were very like special limited release cans because I wanted you to kind of
Oh yeah.
have like some of the best of the best. So I think the one that's really going to be, or that I'll be really interested in what your thoughts are, is that King Julius, the orange can one, because that is like one of their
I'm
staples.
I kind of want to try the Emperor Julius.
The Emperor is good too. They're both good. I think one's 8.4, maybe the other one's 8.5, 8.6, but they're
Oh,
both.
maybe I'll put them head to head.
You could maybe if I'm gonna could do them on your Thursday night show next week if you want, because that's gonna be. I mean that's like where it's at. That's what when people think of
Thursday night treehouse
Treehouse,
session.
they think of those orange cans, the Julius. They think of the purple cans, which I didn't send you one of those, but if you're getting one of the staples. They have another one called green. So if you ever see a Treehouse in orange, purple, or a green can, like that's what started the Treehouse movement. Those are the OGs. So, and this is all I got. It's going down super. Oh, I got a little bit more in the can, but it go for an 8.6, like you mentioned. It has a little bit of substance to it. It's not like you can kind of tell you're drinking a little bit higher ABV beer just because it's a thicker, heavier body. but at the same time, it's not boozy. Like I'm not drinking this thinking like, oh wow, this is
Mm-mm.
like it's very smooth and
No.
silky. It's got that silky smooth
Sometimes
mouthfeel.
the big IPAs like this, and they'll get like that. They'll have like that malt liquor alcohol vibe to it, like
Yeah.
the
Well,
weird astringent alcohol, and you're
and
like,
they'll
what is
have
that? Why?
they'll have a finish that's a little bit so it may be juicy and fruity and nice and silky smooth all the way through, but then when you swallow it down because the higher ABV is there, it'll have that warming, drying effect. I'm not getting that at all with this one, which is scary. Because it doesn't dry out. It's not drying out my palate like a lot of the higher ABV stuff. It maintains that juicy, feel all the way through the finish, which is rare for a 8.6%
This is
beer,
good.
regardless of whether it's an IPA or not. It's just for that high ABV. That's not common, at least in my experience. This is one of the. I will say this is one of the more bitter, juicy IPAs that I've had from Treehouse. It does. The more I sip on it too, the more I'm picking up on that hot bite on the finish. But yeah, it really is kind of the best of everything. You get the juicy, you get the bready malt character, you get the that nice soft like silky mouthfeel, but you get the hot bite to kind of balance, so it's not too sweet. It's got that bite that a lot of people are looking for. So I think a lot of people that like the West Coast will like this. I think people that like both, obviously, this will be like a happy medium. I don't know. I can't remember what I rated. I don't know if I reviewed this one yet, but for me, this is up there close to world class, if not world class. I would say like 97, 98 is where it's at for me personally, somewhere in that range.
I know exactly where I'm going to put this.
I'm curious. I'm wondering
It's hitting
where
a, it's
that.
hitting a good mark. I will say this is better than any of the Trillium I've had.
Trillium
And
is yeah.
it's well, I was getting it. They were doing some good stuff there. I didn't get the biggest selection of them. Is this
Yeah,
better? Yes, in my opinion, on one beer in
right.
this
That's true.
particular product.
You'll have a nice sample
Um,
all done to give like a real.
I mean, there's nothing really bad I can say about this beer. It hits all the aspects that I was thinking. Except, like I said, you got the old little bait and switch on the nose when you first open. You're like, oh man, tropical, all kinds of fruits, and then
Right.
you go in, it's dank, earthy, piney, and I dig the balance of it. I'm gonna go with a 98 out of 100.
Nice.
I think I gave one. It was either a Modest Man. I think I gave a 97, and this is yeah, this shit's good. I'd like to. I mean, I've got a lot more products to try. It's gonna be God. Who knows?
This is a good one to start with, I think, because it's a little bit, yeah, you get a little bit of everything. So, yeah,
And the
so I'm
more you
right there with
drink
you.
on this, you get a little bit more acclimated. The bitter's not
No, I would still not call this a very bitter beer because I really don't care for the
like
West Coast.
65, 75 range. It's got
Yeah,
but the IB, the IBUs are weird.
I'm a user aware because it's a subjective or an objective um, measurement. Like everybody perceives bitterness differently. So what I find really 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 bitter, somebody might find just mildly bitter or whatever. So the IBU count on these that's why a lot of breweries
I
have
kind of don't even like.
they
They say
gotten
it's the
away
bitterness units,
from
but that's like it can be very hoppy and like more hop aggressive, and it'll score higher on the IBU scale. You know what I mean?
right
Compared to like, is it really that bitter?
right. That's why that's
compared to
why
other beers,
breweries,
you know.
they don't even bother putting the IBUs on
I don't blame them. They got
a
they got
lot of
bigger
beer.
fish to fry than that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it turns people off. If somebody sees, oh my God, 100 IBUs, I'm not. That's going to be too bitter for me. But then you drink it, and you're like, oh wow, that's not bitter at all. Or it's slightly bitter, but it's balanced with the sweetness of the malt and the other, qualities of the beer. So, I mean, I would have like Hop Stupid, 102 IBUs. I do not think it doesn't drink like 102 IBU beer because it has a nice malt backbone.
It's not like
It,
drinking an arrogant bastard.
it's not a palate wrecker like you might think. So it just depends on the balance is key. You can make it as hoppy and high IBU as you want as long as you have a good malt backbone and you have some balance. And this one is definitely balanced. Yeah. So for me, yeah, you said 98. I think I would have probably given it a 98, which for me falls just into that world class category for me. It's up there. I mean, it's
Like outstanding. I've like I said, I scaled my shit
out.
back, and like
Yeah.
outstanding starts at like 95.
Yeah. To me, yeah, for my scale, 98, 99, 100 are world class. So it's right there. And I'm not the only reason I'm knocking off
And
a few more.
I'm not fucking. I ain't getting. I'm not. Yeah, the shit's good.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
If this was my first like juicy IPA, it'd probably get 100, but I've had so many of these that you start to just kind of like notice little differences and stuff that get like, take a point off or add a point. But I mean, it's so good. It's just so you can't go wrong with this. And unless you just don't like juicy IPAs, then you're gonna freaking hate it. But because that's what it is in a nutshell,
I don't
to a
know.
T.
Alex might not like it. It's a little bitter and dry.
I feel like he'd like it. But since he might not like it, I won't bother sending it to him. I got to be sure. I'm not.
Oh, hi, Josh. Anyways,
Okay.
we'll go ahead and I guess wrap things up here. We're almost at the 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to shout out, John? Stout Sunday
Uh,
or anything?
nah, well, Stout Sunday, flip a coin, and if it's going to happen, it'll be at 10:30 Eastern. And if I don't do it, usually Ron Terry will do it on his channel. But yeah, no, I don't. I don't know. I'm dropping the beer reviews regularly, so just look out for those. Lately, a lot of Treehouse stuff because I've been drinking a lot of Treehouse, trying to go through a lot of their lineup. And every time I think I'm done, I go to their website and they got a whole new lineup. So
More.
it's just like, hey, I'm just going to keep drinking it. Um, yeah, no, I guess nothing really. I don't know. Check out Bumpy Road Brews, Beer Man, all of our community. I don't know. All of our community is probably in the chat watching now. So go check all those people in the chat out. Honey, how dare you, Bumpy? Well, if you still have some of those, honey, I'll take them. That's bullshit. It's not horrible at all.
Anyway,
Honestly, I wish I had sent you one of those so that you could see how hypercritical Bumpy is because it's not a terrible beer. It's just not a honey forward beer like I was hoping because it's got honey in it. You gave it to me, John. I gave it to you. Oh, well, fuck you, Bumpy. Who wants to dance? I don't know. You don't want to see me dance, Josh. You're not ready. You wanted to get rid of it? No, I did not. I enjoyed it. I thought, actually, I gave it to you before I drank it, though, before I tried it. So I should have known better.
he's tough.
He
Tough.
is. He's, beer Nazi. That's what his
This one I do trust. It's a good
Well,
buck.
all right. Well, after no more of that. After this beer mail, that advice goes to the wayside.
Well, just don't send Josh anything.
I won't. Don't worry. I will not.
He gets all
Yeah.
the good stuff, the veil, and
I
now he's
might
getting
send.
Modest Man and all that shit.
Be more likely to send Grace a package than Josh. Mm.
Anyways, shout outs for me.
Yeah.
Thursday night beer session will be Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern. Going to be reviewing two products with the co-host. If John
I think you
is
have a
allowed to
special
come
you
out,
have a special guest this next Thursday.
I think he's allowed to come out and play that day.
I'm
I'll
doing
have
it.
to go
I will
knock on
do
the
it.
door, you know.
I will do it. I will be there. So
Can
yeah,
John come out and play today?
I will be there next Thursday.
But anyways, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sign out. Other than that, go check out the community, man. Like I said, John rambled off a bunch of people. Alex is doing Food Friday here in
Right.
13 minutes. If
15
you've got
minutes.
some salmon and a beer of choice, go hang out, have some dinner. Um, other than that, yeah, FLX, Ridgeopolis, Joe at the Beer Patrol, and the UK players as well. Jagman, Kent Beer Reviews, Sam Smalley, all the international folks. Great to have around, and I really truly do appreciate them. Maybe not as much as I do you right now, but
That will pass. That feeling will pass.
so, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and sign out of here. So, like I always say, um, or what do I always say? Stay
Stay
sipping.
sipping.
Cheers, my